Okay, g'day everybody. Welcome to Starbase Expanded, episode 6. My name's Stephanie B, and this is a bit more of a laid-back, open sort of forum, chat about Starbase and all the things in the surrounding areas. And we will go into a little bit of rabbit holes here and there, but the questions, we're open to any questions around anything to do with Starbase outside the normal site. So if you have any questions or any queries, please just put the exclamation mark Q in chat and ask away, and we'll do our best to try to answer them. This week we requested, the production crew, Matt actually requested a nice long shot of the overall of all the sites. So this was a key to this actual, this particular production is to obviously see the rest of the sites around Starbase. This photo is fairly key to understanding where all the different sites are in relation to each other. So well done to the photographer, and well done to Proki for putting this together. So I'll just go over this photo a little bit. Obviously the Rio Grande is the border between the United States of America and Mexico, which has always been that way. So down here we have the first thing we see coming along the road is the storage lot for all the steel we see on Highway 4. We'll go into that a little bit more. There's a little bit to go in there a little bit as we go through these sites. Moving further along, we come up to masses. I could actually mark the fire breaks. The amount of times we get questioned about what these squares are, it's kind of amazing. Sometimes I think they're trolls, guys. Anywho, moving along, we can see where the old Ad Astra School and the old Mission Control down the back of it, a small house village, and a new Ad Astra School. The SpaceX storage lot where the we see the SpaceX crane boom parts at the moment being staged, while Crane X is in its current configuration, or Marvin, whichever camp you're in. You can see Rio West and Rocket Ranch Outpost and what's her name? It's on tip my tongue. Maria over there. Maria's got property over there as well. I don't think we can quite see Rocket Ranch proper, can we? No, it's just down here, isn't it? It's just out of view, I think, down here, in this bend down here, I think.
That'd be correct.
Rio West, and then moving on to Sanchez build site, the village, and onto the launch site. It's also a good, I keep harping on about how much wetlands are in the area compared to how much SpaceX want to claim for this launch site. And this is still only a tiny fraction of the amount of wetlands out here. It goes significantly more over there to the right I'm pointing, by the way, to the right over there in Mexico. Okay.
This is very helpful.
Oh, sorry, hang on. Say that again.
This is very helpful.
Yeah.
If Raptor Roost was at the bottom of the screen, wouldn't it be in Mexico?
Well, this river goes. Hang on. This river does a bend this way and then back that way, and it's on this side. It's on this side. It does like a U-turn here, the river, and it's on the American side. Hang on, one moment. I have that picture here somewhere. Well, it's nowhere near there, obviously.
It's wide, but it's not wide enough.
Let's zoom on in down in here. I'm getting pretty good at this zooming into this place. Yeah, so yeah, I was kind of correct. Yeah, so the photo's sort of taken from here, looking that way, obviously.
It tucks all the way back around. Yeah.
The Rocket Ranch is down here on the. I was going to say New South Wales side then, on the American side.
Yeah, we made a south turn there on that little loop that you see there. That's why it looks like we went into Mexico, but we were definitely on the U.S. side.
Nice.
Yeah, it's an awesome photo, that's for sure. Just get me back to my right folder. Yeah, there's a couple of photos in that series of wider angles, which is really nice. I've used a couple of these. Sorry, Matt, but I used a couple of these in our weekly episode as well. But I figured the Starbase Xpanded would be live before the episode's release, so I figured it'd be fine to use them. There's something I noticed while I was doing the script was the work going on one lot here and another lot over where the steel's being staged. This one's not so obvious, but where the steel's getting staged, there's a horizontal or a directional boring machine there as well, and looks like they're pulling in water. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's the water mains continuing through to Brownsville for like what we see at the launch site, and obviously for the village and the build site as well, more than likely, and even Massey's, I guess, needs water as well.
Yeah, that new trench that they ran a couple of weeks ago might possibly have been water since electricity had already been run.
Oh,
Going
course,
into-
yes, yes.
Going into Massey's, yeah.
Yeah, water wasn't in the initial permitting for when they got their utility easement.
And just to correct us, I'm assuming is an error that I said on the live stream that we're waiting for the cryo stand to be ready for ship 39 to roll out. I'm actually going to change that and think we're actually waiting for 39. We'll actually go on the static fire stand next and do this test next before cryo testing.
Can't they do cryo testing on the static fire stand? They just can't do the puck shucking.
True.
Correct.
But I would imagine 39 will get puck chucked though, eventually. Especially given that not only the cryo stand isn't ready, but neither's the station. It's not ready either for a little bit. So I would say this test frame is going to be finished before the ship cryo station and stand is ready for 39. So I imagine we're going to see 39 here first. And that's what I've written in the script, and we put May. It may be doing that first in the script. I said it was, and BJ corrected it saying May. So that's a good call. It may be the next thing that happens.
Good. You can join my crow club if it doesn't happen. Because I think 2 weeks ago is when they rolled back the stack fire stand. That's what my assumption was. What was going on?
Cool. Yeah, I know. Sometimes people say stuff. I don't quite hear it when I'm a bit busy doing all the things I do in show and tell. So I appreciate you saying that, and apologies if I had missed that statement. So yeah, we'll have Crow together.
There is a question in chat, Steph, from
Sure.
Ron F's Sent to the Moon. He's asking, which is closer to the launch site, SPI or Rocket Ranch?
That's a good question.
SBI, because I think you're 5 miles to the south tip of Rocket Ranch or south tip of Fire Island, and you're 4 miles to where Maria and all that is. So you've got several more miles to get to Rocket Ranch from there.
Well, this sort of shows you there's that distance there, or there's it's pretty close, Alaska. Ooh.
Are you talking Rocket Ranch or the outpost?
Yeah, the outpost would be about 4 miles, but to actually get to the ranch, I think you're at least 2 more miles.
The outpost looks heaps closer, the outpost looks much. Even still, it's not much closer, but yeah, the actual Rocket Ranch, does look. You're right, Alex. Alaska, that does look quite a lot further over to Rocket Ranch than to South Padre. But yeah, just to the outpost, yeah, it'd be pretty. I think it's closer. Yeah, isn't it's quite close to the sort of border, isn't it? The boundary, sort of, or the current boundary, anyway.
Rocket Ranch to Pad A is 8.49 miles. And as Alaska pointed out, the outpost is only 4.02.
Actually, I should have brought up Google Earth. I could have done that easier.
Yeah, and I think the last time we measured the south tip of the island was about 5 miles, and then 6 miles to places like Margaritaville and stuff like that.
Yeah, 5.
Margaritaville. Margaritaville. That sounds like my kind of place. Where's that?
5.2 to the trailer park, and roughly 6.96 miles to the first of the towering hotels on SPI.
All right. I hope that answers that question for you. All right, back to Massey's. So we probably could go any other sites while we're doing other sites, since that's what we're supposed to be doing. Now the school. I'm wondering when it gets inappropriate to keep looking at the schools. I thought through the week whether. I mean, for now it's just a construction site, so I guess there's nothing wrong with it for now. Where is the school? I can't find it.
I don't know that there's any documentation on it. My impression has always been that they would keep the original school for the younger kids, and the new school would be like junior high school.
Yeah, I would imagine as much myself, yeah. There it is. That's a picture I'm looking for. So they're continuing with cladding and putting services in on the roof there. They'll be doing some fit out, I guess, soonish. They've got their, I think we covered this even last week, they've got their driveways in, I'm imagining, for school pickup and maybe another school pickup and maybe staff parking as well.
You could put a soccer field or a football field or something like that out there.
There is a lot of like pipes and so on out here to continue on. I thought we had cryo tanks there for a sec. I need to put
drainage.
Yeah, they need to put a little cryo farm here, perhaps for practical, practical lessons.
Those are sleeves for the pumps for the cryo.
Ah, true. Actually, that is a very good thought. Actually, it is basically across the road, isn't it?
Down the road a little.
Yeah, like I said, this is probably the best shot we've got of this side. The other's sort of in halves or whatever. Actually, I'll go to that. It's in this folder. There it is. I don't see a great deal of change. I mean, obviously there's some crane parts that have changed. Sometimes we see the odd valves set here or there move around or get taken away or added. Oh, what are they? Oh. Are they clean rooms for the bays?
Been there for a long, long time. Don't know what they are.
They'd probably go with that. Yeah, maybe. There's the clean rooms for the bays. And we got somewhere here, there's crane part. It doesn't actually show the crane parts in these images. A little bit off to the side here. But that other image we can see, I'm guessing that's part of the new crane as well, the new Tadano crane.
I believe so, yes.
And some SpaceX LR11000 crane parts. And one thing it is missing here is the heavy lift stuff that the LR11000 is using right now. Was in that area, I think. And in this image too, we can see they're still missing just a few buildings in that site. So yeah, where was it? Out the front here, they're doing some digging. There was some. Maybe they're just doing this run through to here, perhaps at the moment. There was somewhere else along here. There was the other site they're digging up. I wonder if that bend is too much for the directional borer to go around. Not sure how much of a bend they can actually go around. And it's probably tighter that bend than what it looks from this angle too. Another good shot looking over the liquefaction plant. I guess that's the far northern end of Padre Island, SPI.
That's Port Isabel.
Port Isabel. Oh, SPI is over there, of course. Yep, thanks.
Yep.
I mean, SPI, sorry, is over there, thanks. So we saw, I think we showed it through the shows at the Port Connector Road. They still have the big 3 tanks, so I think we already know that well and truly that they're not they're not the ones that got delivered to the launch site. Rio West, the big difference at Rio West this week, they've installed a tennis court out the back. And some driveway out the front. And some shadies out the front here. Starting to do some sort of landscape work around the place. Got the retainer walls in and the little staircase. I just imagine wandering along here and it's going for a quick dip. Dip on a sunny southern Texas summer. You guys from further north in America come down here in the wintertime and go for a swim. Be quite warm down here compared to up north. Although I did hear you got some sub-zero temperatures at Starbase this week, perhaps. Over here, works continue. Sorry.
It's okay. The weather has been getting really chilly, but I believe Starbase stayed above freezing. But it's crept down as far as mid-Texas and almost to the top of Florida. That cold system out of the Canadian Arctic is giving America a real taste of winter.
Yeah, we'll see all the coats on. I see a 59 degrees for a high for Saturday. That's chilly for them people that live down there.
Well, what they call cold and what we call cold who live up north is a different thing.
I feel attacked. Stop it. Not nice.
No. There, I should say. Would you like a hot beverage?
Yes. I'm going to go sit in a safe room.
See if anyone can get that quote, that TV show quote, actually. There. Would you like a hot beverage? Now, what's they doing? Oh, Chompies, yeah. It's got some wall work happening and some, I guess, some formwork getting ready for a concrete roof. By the look of it, or could that be just like, you just have a funny way of doing roofs in America. Could that be the finished roof, or would you think they'll pour it in concrete? That's sort of not the right product, is it, for concrete, is it?
It looks like plywood, and they'll probably just put foam down
Put foam and seal it. Yep.
and a membrane.
Yeah. In Australia, we just put that clip lock iron on there.
On a flat roof?
Yeah, well, it's sloped. They would have made it sloped in Australia. Yeah, predominantly Australia, we have, if it's not terracotta tile roofing, it's just corrugated iron, like Colorbond. We rarely use those systems you use in America and Australia. It was quite the learning curve, to be honest, actually, how you guys do roofing.
If you likes this way, you can go to a different state and they'll do it completely different.
Yeah. So landscaping's pretty well the way up this end, and their Cash is just saying hello. And and they're pretty well finishing off. He's having a lot to say. Finishing off most of all the rest of the stuff. I mean, buildings.
Outdoorsman shows asking, when will there be public facilities around Starbase? Bathrooms, gas, electric charging? If he's right, the last public place is in Brownsville.
Perhaps never. They seem to really like the meme of if you visit, you're on your own.
Yeah, the electric chargers out there are inside the car park for Teslas, and they're only available, I believe, to Tesla employees who can get into the parkade.
It depends on if the rumors are true. We've heard that there's going to be a Tesla drive-in down here close to Rio West, along with a museum. If they do that, that would be some public facilities. Right there in that green area is down below the road. All that's not developed yet is the general idea I got when the person that was talking about that, but we'll see what they do.
You're talking about a movie drive-in?
Yeah, the same as what they've got in LA.
Oh,
Get
sweet.
your
Sweet.
hamburgers, watch a movie, charge your car.
I grew up with a drive-in theater next to my house back in the 70s.
We'll have to see if it materializes, but that's the rumors I heard when I was down there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The drive-in diner thing.
But do they play movies?
Yes, they play movies.
Oh, okay. And then there was a question from Javine just asking, what do you guys think of Elon's 6 weeks to Flight 12 comment on X?
Hello?
So on board with that?
He has always been exactly precise down to the day on all of his estimates.
He says
You want to
sarcastically.
expand on that, Alex? Do you think 6 weeks is somehow viable?
Yeah, I think it's viable. Whether it's with any sort of delay, whether or otherwise, not likely, but yeah, I mean, past performance is an indication of future outcome as far as trying to correlate how previous flights timing went. So, but again, I'm the crow connoisseur, so.
I'd definitely love to see it not soon, but yeah, I believe that when I see it.
That's saying odd lack of windows on the front, I guess, of this building. Oh, that building. Yeah, you don't want to look in. You don't want to look from the street into that building. They'll all be ruckus in there. This building, I believe, has got. That top story is a bit funny. It's got no windows. Well, it's got a few windows.
I think that's just paper or plastic. Because if you look through the back window, you can tell it's plastic over the back glass.
It is too. Yeah. So these are just doors then. But maybe. Or that one's probably window. Yeah, okay, yeah. I can see that. That back area, there doesn't seem to be any more development this week. And am I right? They've got some of the maps show it even all the way over to, is it Quicksilver over here, the road over here? There was, not quite reach, doesn't quite reach it. A lot of these photos are showing a bit more of the extent of the work being done on the side of the road to get the power lines moved over a bit. There's some more trench work there, actually. That's where it was. So I see two things. I see this blue line. I see a black line as well. I'm wondering if they're two things. Would they maybe be pumping sewage out as well as bringing fresh water in? Like usually,
sewage wouldn't be in that color pipe.
It'd be in black, would it?
It depends if it's labeled or not. But for sewage, they normally do cut and cover, since you have to be very precise with its slope.
Yeah, black would be above ground steel water line, and sewer, you're absolutely right, Alec, has to go measured to the millimeter on the angle to get the slope proper, and they bury it.
Unless they pump it.
Even if they pump, you don't want low spots where you get speed rate changes.
This one looks black. This line.
It depends. If the stuff they're pulling with the directional boring is generally that black high density whatever, that's a fuse, and then where they do any sort of cut and cover, they switch to the blue one. It's the exact same that they did with the water line to the launch site.
What, they blew it up, laid the pipe and filled it back in again?
Here you can see they haven't put the power lines over yet. I think it starts up here somewhere. Little areas like this, is this part of the, this where it becomes a bit more problematic with the paperwork with, wetland stuff?
Oh, yes. And right as you're getting into Starbase, where it floods and stuff, is also
And back in that back corner that you just passed down below, you can see where they were building an extra lane on the other side.
Oh, they're going to move it over this side instead, you think?
Well, the lane, not necessarily, I'm not the water, but they are also building a lane. If you go right into the corner up a little bit, you can see it even better. But they've been doing it back and forth on both sides of the road. They've been working.
I know one of the things I want to do is brings us up to modern standards where a lot of these bends and visibility are too tight for the speed.
One of the things I started wondering is that they are digging down and putting in rock and building up those lanes on either side of the road. I'm wondering if they're going to push the traffic out to the new lanes and then dig up the center to rebuild it, because it was never built properly.
I'm sure
That would make sense.
Try to minimize
they-
impact.
Don't they generally build the new 2 lanes, then go back to the old 2 lanes and dig it up and start again?
If they're moving the road any amount to change the aspect of the curves and stuff, then you kind of have to flip-flop.
But also, if they're doing there's apparently 2 contracts. They may just do 1 lane and pave it, and then let people drive on it and dig up 1 lane while they're doing just on this first phase, and then when they get to the second phase, make the big changes.
My understanding is it's 2 projects it's 1 project they split into 1 with the problematic environmental review portions, and the rest where it's just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steph, it's also going to depend on how much room they have on either side of the street on how they do that. If they're allowed 80 feet on one side, yeah, they might do 2 lanes over there. But if they're only allowed 40 feet on each side, then they're going to do the outside lanes and then do the middle. Just kind of depends on what they are allowed to work with as well.
Yeah. What I saw at any given time appeared to be 1 lane on either side, but that could definitely change.
Fairly massive easement. I think it's 200 plus foot easement. They have a lot of latitude.
But then when you hit those areas where there's water, just all construction stops. There's not any markers, not anything in those areas.
Yeah, that's one that's going through the more stringent environmental reviews.
Is that a jet ski or a skidoo right there?
It looks like a little sea-doo.
Sea-doo, sorry, yeah. A jet ski.
Yep.
One you sit on.
Yeah, not one you stand on, yeah. They're, in Australia, they're kind of all under the same generic term.
Lucky.
Because that's what we do in Australia. Now, there was another image. Oh, that's right, that one of Brownsville. Hang on, where was that? 1 second. Yeah, in here. There's another little area map that someone's put together. Was this you, Matt? Anyhow.
Event Dudes, I think.
Oh, sweet. Very helpful member, Event Dudes, I must say. Did you do a good job for us? It's really awesome. So the Lind ASU. So, what were you saying before about the ASU at Starbase, Alex?
It's not a Lind unit. It's a air liquid.
I thought somebody had mentioned that 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I could be faulty on that.
I mean, I hadn't heard. I had suspicions for a while, but the overheads weren't close enough.
So, Alex, is that the name of a company?
Yes, it's one of Air Liquid, Air Gas. It's another big French conglomerate.
Okay, thanks.
We're still on.
They're even up here all over the place, so they're.
Yeah, I mean, Land, Air Liquid. There's like 3 main, and then a bunch of up and coming in the space.
Kelly uses Air Liquid for her oxygen bottles.
Cool.
Which I believe are just compressed gas and not actually liquid.
I'd love to see a picture of you two.
I mean,
So we can see. Oh, sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
No, that was me. Stephanie, are you taking questions about Starship that's not related to Starbase?
We'll take questions about anything to do with Starship, Starbase, on or off the Starbase, whatever you just want to talk about. We're quite happy to take any questions.
I was wondering how the testing for the V3 Raptor's going. I know there was like an anomaly at some point recently, and just wondered if anybody had any information on how that's going.
To the best of my knowledge, they're basically in acceptance testing now of engines. We haven't seen that many RVACs. I believe we've seen Raptor 8 and Raptor 9 on the RVACs. Or, well, no, sorry, Raptor 8 and Raptor something in the 70s. So we haven't seen that many of them. I'm not sure if the anomaly was on a Raptor stand. I could be wrong, but I believe it might have been a Merlin stand, but again, I could be wrong. But it was something to do with the flame bucket, more so, we believe at least.
Awesome, thank you.
I believe Elon posted something like they're reliable at 330 bar chamber pressure, and they have pushed some to over 350 bar, but not reliably. So that may be something to do with that. Not bad for a half-finished engine.
Tory's never going to live that down.
It's a
I know,
sweet,
right?
sweet Bezos money now. He doesn't care.
And someone
Amazing.
mentioned in chat that the anomaly was Raptor vertical.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
He said they've gone past 350, but didn't say an exact number.
Yeah, but not necessarily reliably yet.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a Raptor stand, I mean, all I'd say is, it's not the worst thing in the world. They're still in the testing stage because this hasn't flown yet. And if they're catching bugs on the test stand, that's best, to be honest. I mean, it's not unexpected that they won't be pushing these engines on the test stands. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if they fly the first flight with a pretty held back kind of tuned version of Raptor 3 just to kind of ensure that everything goes well. And then as they develop the V3 stack, they'll keep on pushing the performance until they do another block upgrade of Raptor. But I mean, I wouldn't think the next block update is going to be at least for another 3, 4, 5 years.
But what happens when we take them cocoons to space, the ones that were making the butterflies?
Well, this shock diamond starting here, whatever it is. The plumes are cool. I think this one, they're up to like nearly 300 seconds testing, aren't they, too? They've been doing some pretty 300 seconds or 240 seconds or something.
We've seen them do both booster ascent burns and ship ascent burns, which is why we think they're into acceptance testing now.
They've also been doing some rapid starts and stops. I think one day they ran through 30 burns in one day with one engine just to see what sort of wear and tear they could put on it. That was last summer.
And as Capsec knows, it was the Raptor stand, but not the Raptor itself that failed. So the Raptor is still good, but the stand failed.
Oh, okay.
Did it out of the ground?
What a machine.
You're correct. That is a shock diamond in the middle.
It's kind of early for shock cell to start, but you can see on the plume it getting pushed back in.
I wonder if the V3 plume will be slightly more blue because I mean it looks like they're. I mean I wouldn't think they're running a different fuel ratio, but I think they're certainly changing up something because that does not look like the R2 plume.
Myself and a member of chat also hope that it's bluer as well.
You mean here, Alex, where the plume's starting to go in?
Well, no, just like the entire general plume.
Do you not think that's Methlox?
It's definitely Methalux. They
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
running closer and closer. Sorry, Alex. They could be running closer and closer to what do you call it? Style. What do you call that word?
You would never go to stoichiometric with this.
Or Methalox, which is a different chemical as far as I know.
They're using a lot of excess methane for wall and throat cooling inside.
Oh, basically running it down the edges here. Is that right? Up on the edges.
Methane rich, yeah.
Yeah.
Richer.
It may end up looking similar to Blue Origin, to be honest. Slightly similar to Blue Origin, that is.
They're running two completely different. SpaceX is trying to eke out the very last bit of molecular energy, and Blue Origin is running a much more relaxed process. You're not racing up asymptote pressure and performance. I mean, yeah.
Is that more this Mark diamonds are more down there, are they, Alex, rather than just up here?
Dead center is one for, because you can see where it's pinching back in from the atmosphere from it being over expanded. So
Brian Nery's wondering, you think Raptor 3 is better on fuel economy?
No, you're trying to eke out. It's all about mass flow and velocity. You're chucking it out the back end.
The more mass you expel, the faster you can accelerate.
Yep. And they're fairly efficient heat engines.
They've got very good ISP.
It's insane how clean it is. It's just an engineering marvel, I'm telling you. It's gorgeous.
It's amazing seeing the cold sides to the hot side comparisons. Like, yeah, it's just like right next to each other.
It's not as cool as the RS-25s, just icicles on the ends of the bells.
Yeah,
It's impossible to see the inner working parts of the RS-25 for all the stuff slung on the outside. This engine is so simple and clean. It's amazing.
I hope that answered your question. This is the Raptor, isn't it?
Yes, thank you so much, Stephanie.
Oh, no. It looks simple enough sort of on paper, but yeah, I'm sure it's not anywhere near that simple, to be honest. Well, it's sort of basically the same. The pumps, aren't they? They've got a turbine and a pump, both.
Yeah, you kind of need a turbo pump for these.
I believe so.
And then Ebid Waterman's asking, what do you think will fly first, Flight 12 or Artemis?
Artemis.
I think we all agree on Artemis.
Sure.
Assuming they don't have the joy of hydrogen.
That was an after show photo. We used to do water skiing on the channels behind cars, but yeah, sorry, digress.
I love that.
That's all for that folder. Okay. Moving right along, there's a few other sites here. This is the parking sites in. Actually, I'll keep coming back to this. So, some of the parking lots. There's the airport lot and the new brown lot where they got. Oh no, that's not where they got steel. This is where they got steel over here. The brown lot that's getting used. Is that this side? Is that the brown lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That look. I mean, those are the buses that are delivering the construction workers to Gigabay, whereas SpaceX uses the luxury buses for their passengers.
Is that the new Massey's there now? Oh, there.
Yep.
And the rest, we went through the rest of the sites earlier. The question about Rocket Ranch, well, there's their camping ground. The JFK and the port. So Kelly's come to me with the questions. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Sure. Now, expansion. This came in thanks to Event Dudes. I just got to step away for like 10 seconds. So feel free to talk about this for a second.
Event Dudes, you want to talk about it?
What is it?
So, as we know, we were waiting on the TCEQ for their release of their permission for the expansion, and this was the USA site that this was pulled from, so that the TCEQ was authorizing them to move forward, and what we're left with is the MBI for the Preservation Bank is what we're waiting on. Maybe. They might just go ahead without that, but we'll see what they do.
Thank you.
So this is regards to the expansion for the pads?
Correct. So this is the TCEQ sign off, if you will. Obviously, you can see other sign offs already with the Fish and Wildlife. We're still kind of. I'm not entirely sure about the NOAA fisheries because they came back and said no, basically. So there's some back and forth. We won't see that. There's going to be some back and forth with that. But this is a good sign that they have moved forward with TCEQ at least.
Nice.
Not likely to adversely affect. That looks good. Yeah. Procedure complete.
Oh, just by run Event Dudes. This is Event Dudes flying his airplane. Well, not his airplane, getting flying.
I was not flying, just so we're all clear about that.
That was probably a bit loud too, sorry.
Backstory on that, the pilot did ask me, hey, you got any experience? Did you want to fly the plane? I'm like, no.
Oh, it's easy.
And a special thanks to Turtle Sanctuary for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So you're in the left-hand seat, is that right? Or is the image backwards?
I am in the left-hand seat, that's correct.
That's the pilot in command seat. Was he an instructor, was he?
So the situation was that window opened, and that's why I was in that seat.
Oh, gotcha, cool, yeah. Yeah, planes aren't all that difficult to fly, really. Landing's quite tricky. Landing's really tricky, but just flying, it's not much. It's no different to flying a car, really, to be honest. Driving a car. You don't fly a car, whatever. Well, sometimes we do, eh? I've flown a car once or twice in my life, but that's a different story.
Landing's probably the hardest part.
Landing's incredibly difficult, yeah.
Yeah, I've flown a few cars.
Oh, you mean landing the car or landing the plane?
Yeah, landing the car. Yeah, both.
Both, yeah.
The car will land. Gravity will ensure that. It's just how it will land and how many pieces post-landing.
Well, that's true for the plane as well, then.
Yeah, there was that horrible accident at Bangor yesterday. Somebody flipped over on takeoff. I won't go into it, but it's under investigation. But lost some folks yesterday.
But even like landing, in a car, you learn to reverse, a trailer or whatever, and then you can learn to, reverse your trailer with just your mirrors. Landing, it's just another set of, just a procedure you go through. Your different altitudes, at speeds, at different heights, and the way you look at the runway and how you it's something that's very easy to learn. I learned it on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I flew with my brother one day in a Piper Cub and totally messed up the landing. I got on Microsoft Flight Simulator and did 100 landings with that instructor on Flight Simulator. Next time I flew in an RV7 with my brother, nailed it.
I did that. I printed it out on a dot matrix printer. That's how old that was.
The hardest part's usually the flare because it's an unnatural feeling.
Yeah, and he wouldn't let me do the landing roll on the RV7 because it's only it's a non-steerable nose wheel, just a what do you call it, caster front nose wheel. Only using brakes for steering. It can be a little bit you can get fishtails, pilot-induced oscillations happening pretty easily. Almost like a tail dragger, except not quite as bad. Tail draggers have a bad habit of wanting to have the back end overtake the front end because the center of mass is on the wrong side when you're on tail wheel plane. When you're on the undercarriage, too much weight to the back. It wants to do it. They want a ground loop all the time. Nose wheels, they like to fly nice. They like to drive nice and straight. Okay, the concrete site. Not much more to talk about there. Just seems like we're doing the rounds. I'll just quickly go through all these photos. So a bit hard to try and find the right order through here at the moment. Flying's just good fun all the way around. Gliders are easy to fly. Landing in gliders is easy. You don't really need to flare. You basically fly them onto the runway. Really easy. At like 30 mile an hour too. Lots of steel still being staged, getting ready to be transported, and we see this pretty well every week. It's going to be a large turnover of steel over the next little while. Really loving these broader images getting. The brown light, yeah, they are expanding out the back. This expansion seems to have gone ahead a bit this week, but done a bit more work compared to last week. Oh, there's the fancy SpaceX, one of the fancy SpaceX lots. Oh, very nice. Almost one extreme to the other. They're right next door to each other. What's that?
School?
Oh, big club. Big club. Oh, school. Oh, that's right. It's a school. I knew that. That's right. We've answered that before. Thank you. Oh, the concrete block. Nice view up there. Oh, the sun's a bit glaring in that photo. Looking towards the. What is this morning? Looking towards the. Hang on, when was this flight? Wasn't this in the?
3
Maybe it
p.m.
was in the evening. Sorry.
3 p.m.
Oh, it's in the afternoon. So we're looking west. Yeah.
Yep.
While we're going through these images, I might just go through them all quickly. We'll get back to Starbase in a sec. Now I've been seeing them getting the rebar ready for the concrete on top there. And they're starting to really get underway with some of the other areas as well over the last few weeks. Oh, so it's going to be 2 docks, or maybe even so they can put, or maybe even no, they wouldn't put a berth there, would they? So there's a berth here and a berth here, so they can bring 2 ships in at once, I guess.
That's my understanding.
Oh, 3 on each side, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look, they're starting to work on the next 2.
Is that the bottom of one there, is it?
It's a sump they have between the 2. If you look between the other 2 existing tanks.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, down here, yeah.
Should be, yeah, all the piles on the lower part of the image, those by the crane. Yeah, right. No, the one to the right, where you were originally, down. Right there. Yeah, so there's piles they drive in underneath the tanks.
Cool. Oh, here's the tanks up close. This one. So there's still a start on the rebar work on that one. That's the left-hand one, I think. That's the no. That's the left-hand. Hang on, I think that's it. Yeah. There's another. That's another pit in the ground over there?
Yeah, there's 2 between the tanks.
Ah, gotcha. I see. For some reason, I thought the right-hand one was the one that's more finished up on the roof. I knew this one was built first, but the other one really caught up. It's right up to pretty well up to the same stage now. Well, it appears that way anyway. There's still got a ways to go. I guess it'll be made. It looks like it's sort of different, unless they haven't got there yet. Maybe it's thicker concrete or different on the edges and thinner as they go to the centre, perhaps.
There's less load.
Is there 2 layers?
They're probably a bottom and a top.
Yeah, that's another layer over the top of the whole lot. Yeah.
Brian Neres
That's a
is
lot of-
wondering, how do they keep the LNG in liquid form while traversing the ocean? Doesn't it have to be super cold to stay a liquid?
They're fairly insulated tanks, and they have reliquefaction units inside the ships to reliquefy the boil-off gas. Well, I'm pretty sure they're near atmosphere. But they're double. I mean, it's double hulled as well, so you do have dead airspace. But you're saying something else, Cumulus? There's various types, but yeah. the more purpose-built, they're going to spheres for volume, maximize the load they can carry.
Insulation.
Drew Nahr is pointing out that it's normally the LNG ships that have those giant spheres in them.
Yes. The very large bulk transports do. I believe LNG is less dense than water, so
Sort of float.
And then Rex Johnson's wondering if you have thoughts on what SpaceX will do for reliquefaction on Starship trips to Mars.
You point either the front or the aft at the sun, and you pretty much, that's your only point source of heat. So you have this wonderful couple degree Kelvin heat sink surrounding you for radiating away heat. So it's sort of like Webb has a satellite, has a space telescope, has a big solar shade to keep it always in the shade. Once you're out of orbit, it's a lot easier for thermal management because in orbit, you have the Earth is essentially radiating as much heat as it's received from the sun in long wave radiation. The sun is hitting you with short wave, so you're constantly getting cooked. Even though, if you're looking to the moon is also reflecting some and radiating some down as well. Quite a bit easier once you're out of orbit.
They're the radiators you're talking about there, I think.
Yeah. But it's sitting on a giant multi-layer, basically a shade cloth that's always between it and the Earth and the Moon. It's also the reason which Lagrange point they decided to camp it at.
Just a side question. Do they use much fuel to keep the JSW where it's supposed to be, JWST where it's supposed to be? I know there's a bit of free ride with the Lagrange point.
I'm not sure. It's an unstable point, so and you're sort of orbiting a spot in space. So yeah, you have some station keeping has to be done.
Breaking news.
Yo.
They have finally changed the white lights on the tower to red. Holy moly.
Turtle time?
At Starbase?
Tower 1, yeah.
I was thinking.
About time.
Boy, that was scary. Breaking news.
I thought they did that before, yeah, like I said, turtle season. I thought that was a yearly thing they'd... Oh no, that was the ones on the vertical tanks, wasn't it?
Yeah, they switched to the dreadful lighting.
Oh, look at that, red lights.
Rover 3 if you want to see it better, but yeah.
That is a lot easier on the eyes as a pilot to look at a tower with red lights to figure out where it is versus those blinding strobes, which really do a number on your night vision.
That's cool.
Thanks, Yvette.
Well, no,
please.
that's what I call breaking news. Thank you. All right, I think we're going pretty well around all the sites. We've done an hour there. That's awesome. Wow, time flies.
If I could, Steph, to further to Alex, there is a new line of tankers coming on using membrane lining prismatic tankers, which have square holds just to get more cargo in. They figured out how to seal a square-shaped hold to carry LNG.
Yeah, they had a couple their version they're kicking around. One was basically stacking essentially hot dog tanks, which went about as well as you could imagine.
It was a disaster.
Yeah. So
where's the boat? Oh, there's the boat. So get a close up of the boat.
which boat?
The war boat. We usually have a close up. I'm not sure what's going on this week. Maybe I just missed it. I don't know. Look, they're starting to remove the front now. The back's falling off now. The front's coming off. Ah, so the hangar. I was going to say, so the hangar does have an end, but we're not down to the hangar yet. That's. I guess the hangar starts in here somewhere. I have no idea that was how big that area was under there.
Space up in the bow there.
Oh, the people live on board them boats, them there boats. I'm going dredging. How's chat going? Indy's having a good old chat over there in chat, is?
Yep. Javine just had a question about fuel depots. They're asking, do you think fuel depots will have heat ship or solar panels like the ISS?
You'll need solar for sure. It depends if they're just going to try and keep the tanks shaded, insulated, or if they'll do any sort of active heat management. Because radiating heat is hard. It takes a lot of surface area to do.
Wouldn't they just keep it on the dark side of the planet?
Yeah, they will have solar panels because they will have to power the onboard computers and a reaction control system to keep them stable. Here's a question from me. What do you guys think? Would they use low thrust Hall effect thrusters, which use dribbles of fuel, to deal with maintaining orientation in orbit for the fuel depots?
I have a great big tank that's potentially boiling. Except it's not settled, so I'm not going to be able to pull just a pure gas stream out of it, so I'll have to vaporize it on the way out. I don't know how strong Hall effects for vehicles that size versus the amount of solar you would need to power up. I don't know what orbit it is and how much drags are looking for to have to counteract.
Well, once you've charged it up and you got in orbit, why can't you go sit on the dark side and go freeze, you know?
So I guess there's, I don't know, I suppose there's in orbit sort of stuff, and then there's the trans-lunar, and then there's the trans-Martian orbits. As far as orbits go, I guess they'll be somewhat similar. I mean, the Mars trip's obviously a lot longer.
It's a totally different thermal environment than in orbit.
Yeah, that's correct, because you do get heat reflecting off the Earth. Infrared bounces back to your shadowed side.
Oh, you get cooked from both sides. All that heat that is hitting the Earth's absorbs gets radiated away with long wave, so you almost need two different heat shield or insulations at that point too.
Well, we've already been absolutely mashed.
And we don't know if they're going to just use the standard tanks for the tanker, if there's going to have bladders for our internal tanks.
Valid point. Very good point. I figure they may run it as high as near the ISS orbit just to keep it out of the drag. Something that size will have a problem if it orbits any closer.
Yeah, it's how high they'll be able to get the tankers up with their full capacity.
I think they could go for 180 miles. About 300K would be optimum.
Yeah.
That's an educated guess for you, Alec.
Yeah, I figure it'll be around that area as well. Probably just because Starlink is in between. Isn't Starlink just below ISS, or is it just above it? I forget where their shells are.
It's above it at about between 550 and 650K.
Okay.
Way above it.
Yeah, I forgot how low the space station relief's at.
Okay, what a lovely looking tank. Is this before or after? Because I gather one of the tanks got crushed.
This is a crush.
Stephanie,
Look,
run with the ball. What do we got here?
Alex is talking away nicely there. Yes, that's after the crush.
Jesus, what a beer can.
Yeah, they took the
Good
top off.
analogy.
They took the top off today.
Oh yeah, we're getting onto that. Yeah, that's where I was going actually. Thanks.
Oh, we got stage separation.
Yeah. That's hilarious. That's hot stage separation confirmed. That's good to see. So it's just got something going in the background. It's all good. Alrighty, where was I? Oh yeah, that, yeah. So yeah, thanks for Abbott Space for that bit of video footage there. And I guess I know we've sort of talked about this to the nth degree. I couldn't find, I thought Sean had an image of it up close, but I don't think we're going to see anything extra on any other images. The only thing I know we didn't really talk about a live stream was that on one side the stringers are all there, on the other side a lot of stringers got knocked off, but I'm guessing they got knocked off in the actual event rather than the other way around.
That'd be my assumption.
Yeah.
I thought
the rods are out. Sorry.
I thought that was them stitching it back together.
No, so they've got the rods out, got the cap off. Now they've got that top two barrel ring section off. So a pretty good chance we'll see that either A get scrapped here or B get taken back to scrapyard. And I'm wondering whether, if we don't see another test article, I guess we can assume that the bits that were tested passed with enough leeway that they're happy enough with that hot stage configuration, the truss and everything. Or we see another tank, well then we know that they need to do more testing, I guess. Couldn't imagine it'd take them a minute to knock up another test tank, I'd imagine. Not with Chelsea. Massive sort of talked about what we thought about it's going to happen with ship 39 next. So I'll leave Massive for now. Head on over, quickly look around Sanchez while we're waiting for more questions.
So there are a couple of questions, or at least one. All for One's asking, will the Mars-bound fleet need second refueling to get to the lunar orbit?
They'll need it to leave Earth orbit, yeah.
Now they need Earth escape trajectory injection fuel, and then they need to upload the landing fuel for the far end of where they're going.
Now, I think lunar missions are only getting tanker refueled in Earth orbit, and they should be able to go to the moon, land, and come back up without refueling. There won't be any refueling in lunar orbit, and for now, there's not going to be any refueling in Mars orbit either, though. I think their overall plan is to actually make fuel on Mars to come back. Not sure they've got enough fuel to leave Earth, get to Mars, land, and take up again from Mars and get back with the one fuel load on the ships. But for the lunar stuff, yeah, they're getting refueled in Earth orbit. They're going to get to Mars, the lunar orbit, then land, take up again, and they don't have to come back to Earth with the Starship, of course, on those first few missions.
What you're describing is absolutely correct, Steph. That was what Dr. Bob Zubrin proposed with his Mars Direct years ago, was to ship the ascent vehicle to Mars ahead of any crew going out with 6 tons of hydrogen, and then use old gaslight or lamp technology from the 1800s to manufacture 135 tons of methane and LOX to get the Mars ascent vehicle off the ground. So the first ship that goes out will probably take a plant to make fuel in situ, and that is a big cost savings.
Not about the first few, but certainly as they continue on with their development on Mars, I don't think ships are necessarily going to come back for the first few or so.
I don't think any Earth's going to come back till they start making fuel in situ.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Yep. I don't even think the first one's going to land properly. I think they're just hopefully to get it there, and if it lands, well and good. But if it doesn't, well, I don't think that's a major issue. But I mean, they may. I don't know. Maybe there's rules and regulations they have to, make sure they do land one there properly. I don't know. But I don't think, in my own sort of brain, just getting a ship to actually get to Mars, I think, is a pretty big achievement anyway.
Oh, well, planet protection treaties and such we've definitely challenged.
So here's a good question. Spacey Plum's asking, what action should we start to see if they want to keep that 6-week launch time frame?
Should have rolled out soon for testing at Massey's. Probably 19 this week. Finish up clearing off the pad and that structure at Massey's as well. Because both pads, Hotfire and 2 need their full commissioning and before anything happens. And those both take vehicles to be there to do most of it. I mean, you can sim a lot of it.
All right. Thanks, Cindy. That's what I was doing in the background. All right, thank you. All right, so where are we up to? Oh, this thing. I suppose we talked about this, I guess, in show and tell. I'm sort of showing Sanchez in case there's other questions. And going back, Optimus robots. Yeah, they'll be sending Optimus robots a long time before they send humans anywhere near Mars too, I would imagine. And they are looking likely they will be able to they'll be quite capable of doing quite a lot of foundation work there on Mars. It's going to take some decades, I think, before we see, or at least a decade, I guess, before we see humans get to Mars. But I'm pretty confident it's going to happen within the next decade or two. Did we all sign up for that first missions? Those one-way tickets? Did we all sign up for the one-way tickets to Mars yet, or what? The less oldies.
Some of us only want to go to the moon.
Yeah, that'd be a blast too.
I agree.
I just want to sleep in space. Just one night, sleep in space. No pressure points. No, you go into the most natural, comfortable position. That's all I want. One night of sleep in space.
So you should sleep underwater. It's weightless.
Yeah, it's also this thing called oxygen. You can't breathe underwater.
Ever heard of a waterbed?
Ooh.
70s
Not
are
the
calling
speed.
you.
There's another funny joke, but I'm not going to say it as far as waterbeds are concerned.
Yeah.
You and Matt.
Giggity, giggity.
I've actually had a waterbed before.
The queue to be on Jared Isaacman's next flight will form on the left side. Please line up along the wall.
I'm glad to see everyone's got their sense of humour strapped on today. Awesome. Good on you all. I guess we talked about this a fair bit in show and tells as well. We're still really vague on what it is. It's one of those things that's a breakover until it's not. Anything new in Patreon land? No, just event dude stuff. Oh, and a picture of some gas tank from Martin. Oh, red lights for tower.
Yeah, that's how far back it was when they approved that. It was, April 3rd?
Or is that March the 4th?
I think it's American, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's American. Yeah, cool. 9 feet to 500 feet, 511 feet. So I can read numbers.
So it's not for the turtles.
It's for the turtles, it says specifically, in the next page.
Ah.
Description.
So the red lights are better for the turtles, yeah? Is that right? Instead of the white lights?
Yep.
Because the turtles, it stops up their navigation, doesn't it? I think it's a star or something, or the moon or something, isn't it, at night?
That is correct, Stephanie.
Oh, hello, everybody in Green Room. Sorry, you all got your heads on YouTube then. I hope you're okay with that. The moon, Alice, the moon. So did anybody come up with the there, have a hot beverage TV quote before? Where it comes from? Huh.
You're talking about Big Bang.
I am. There you go. That's what Sheldon says when somebody's upset.
Oh.
I just don't remember the there part. He says, would you like a hot beverage all kinds of times?
I can hear him say that.
Sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe I confabulated that bit.
Oh no, I could hear him saying that.
Confabulation. I learnt that word when I learnt about a family member having acquired. Sorry, it's probably a bit triggering for somebody. For some people having brain injuries, they can confabulate.
Hey, on this picture right here, I just thought of something the other day, and I hadn't heard it talked about. Could the possibility on the box, could those two protrusions go into the docking ports on the ship to lock it into place?
Uh,
Because the docking
You mean
ports.
those round ports we saw on the ship? That weird ship?
Yeah, they're a little too high for that. I think they're too close to the doorway, is what it looks like to me. Just
yeah,
looking at it.
we might be able to see here, Alaska, on this. Doesn't this tank have those things on it now?
Stephanie, according to my research, he does say they're there.
Oh, there you go. It's on the other. I thought this thing had them. You know, thought.
There's one I saw just recently, and that's what it reminded me, but I can't remember where it's at.
You may have a point.
We were talking about it last week, how they need to secure it to the ship and then create a clean room environment. If that could sink into those two top docking ports on the ship, that would help with that.
People in chat seem to think it is for that. Some do, some don't.
Do they build a Starlink variant with docking hardware? Or do they just build that into every general tank?
I thought all of them from with version 3 had the docking hardware on it.
Because Starlink's the only one that doesn't really need it.
True. It looks like it's. Does that look like it's a rail too? Almost.
It's hard to tell because it's covered up, but it might be.
Yeah, because I think with the dummy links, they use the rail to slide in as well, don't they?
We get a view from the other side this week as well on one of these photos. It'll take me a second.
It's probably a locking pin and a rail combined.
I'm sure there's one here somewhere. Yeah, this photo. Didn't really show. It doesn't really help you at all. Let's go to saying. Just interesting. We had another photo from the other end of the side. We didn't even mention this on the live stream either. This was here. There's about 6 things I forgot to mention on the live stream last weekend. There's way too many things to remember this week between Kennedy and Starbase. My goodness, what a big week it's been. And I guess we did plan to allow to use quite welcome to ask questions about the Kennedy photos as well. We're quite happy to go there as well if you just want to talk more about that too. So we talked about most there at Sanchez. So back to the launch side. Back to the build site, sorry. They do look like guide rails. Getting a bit of that in chat. It's in my eyes, you know, they do look a little bit like guide rails. Guide rails, sorry. So they're either, I'm not sure what the big boot part is. They either clip into the, you know, guide rails like we saw the dummy loader, and that, or they're actually something to lock into the actual hardware on the ship, on the for the docking hardware. I guess it's still got to be held up by the bridge crane one way or another. At least, here we go. Thank you.
Yeah, see those cones? They're inside the door. I think they line up with the rail, so you can slide across.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's probably what it's for. Yeah, the more I look at the box, the rails that we're seeing are too high. They're too close to the door. To the docking hardware is down a little bit, and I think it's too far away.
Is it are the docking hardware on this particular ship? Who sent that to us? Are they further down? Are they?
They are down about maybe 5 or 6 feet from the ones that I've seen it on.
They're not actually on this ship. Yeah, cool. Oh, just quickly, let's go on a little tangent here. The spotter craft, the WB-57, did a wheels up landing today. Belly landing. The audio suggests that they had the thrust reversers happening, just like an increase in throttle, and maybe they use the thrust reversers. I can't tell on that engine whether the thrust reversers are deployed or not. Would they be? I don't even know whether it's got thrust reversers, to be honest.
It's a military beastie, no. I don't know. Their thrust reversers are not deployed at this point in time. They're just cruising down the runway.
It might have been, the audio might have been from another jet on the site. Guys are already out and about, getting ready to go and rescue. Would that be jet fuel storage back there?
Probably.
It's quite amazing. Jet fuel distribution system around America's, because the amount of jet fuel you use, it's pretty amazing. And Scott Manley, mentioned that this is one of the bits of footage from that aircraft. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, the WB-57 Canberra uses Pratt & Whitney TF-33s, and the aircraft typically does not utilize thrust reversers. It's primarily designed for high altitude, long endurance flights. It just uses standard braking and spoilers for deceleration.
Wikipedia's good at that. These are old too. This is like 1953.
What was that image Scott showed? I mean, it seemed to have like painted aft section.
Oh, this is not Starship, of course. This is
okay.
New Glenn.
That's New Glenn coming home to Jacqueline.
Oh, very nice.
Keep it running. That's cool footage, Steph. Keep it running. I love it.
I was thinking that it was a Frosty tank, but it's not even the Starship. Oh, you weren't the first one to get filled by that, by the way.
I thought it was AI.
Also, that's a good bit of footage about that test tank failure. It starts about here somewhere. You can see it up close. It almost looks like it leaked a bit, but that'd just be ice, I guess, coming off. Considering there's no actual cryogenics down that end of the tank. And we had some water deluge tests. I like Twitter. I like Vix. Vix does some awesome jobs with it. There's another shot too, actually, of the DSS tests. So I did a DSS test, and then later on they did a deluge test, and the day after they did on the next day after they did a much longer deluge test.
Test.
So that's all since they've upgraded the. I thought she had it too. Since they've upgraded the whatever they did to the gas generators.
They emptied the fire tanks too today.
A couple of times, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a longer test this month.
Hey, look how much water comes over that wall. It's amazing.
Oh, over here.
Yeah. Surf's up.
Oh, that's not the weirs, is it? That's a decompression. No, it is the weirs. The decompression's over here, isn't it?
No, they're in about the same spot. Those are the gas gens venting.
Yeah.
So would you say the weirs?
No.
Drew Nars wondering, why do you think the second deluge test yesterday was the color of the updraft was a lot more yellow?
There's more nitrogen and with the combustion gases. So you're getting kind of NOx forming. It's the same reason you get the nice brown plume liftoff.
On pad 1, yeah. So NO, is that NO2 and NO3? Is that...
Yeah. NO2,
NO and NO.
whatever it takes.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's a bit of X going on. Oh, Num Num. What was it called? The Hungry Hippo made it back to Wallops. Is that right? It got moved. Yeah.
Yep. And there was a question about Gigabay.
That's seriously something out of the movies, isn't it? That way that thing opens up.
Mm-hmm.
Gigabay, sure.
So Makita's asking, why has there been nearly no huge progress on Gigabay for the last 2 weeks? Any ideas?
The weather.
Well, there has been a bit. I mean, give them a break. There was only a little bit in the center here and a little bit on that side there. So they've added all that front bit there on that level and all this back bit here on that level. Added these frames in here. I mean, the bolt guys come along sometimes and do a lot of bolting. But yeah, predominantly, like Alex said, there's been some really windy days that would have limited the crane activity over the last week. And it was a short week, don't forget, in between flyovers.
And I believe they had Monday off, right, for Martin Luther King?
Would be a public holiday, a bank holiday, as they say in the UK.
Something else I forgot to mention on Sunday was Australia Day. That we celebrate our Australianness. Everyone goes and chucks the prawn on the barbie and goes down the river and has a couple of tinnies.
The RAF usually flies up the main street of most of the major cities.
Oh, the one at Brisbane's pretty amazing. They fly them in amongst the high rises. It's crazy.
Come on, Steph. We both know about Queenslanders, but we shouldn't say it here. It's not polite. The heat gets to them.
They're a bit like Texans. I sort of equate Texans a lot to Queenslanders. They're a different breed. No, look, all due respects to Queenslanders and Texans. I'm only being funny, trust me. Just being funny. They're getting a lot more of those bottoms filled in. Yeah, we saw this booster. It was awesome to see the booster, although we really want to see it getting taken out to the launch site. I mean, to the massive soon, like someone said. We did mention Raptor Roost before. Apologies if you missed that. Someone in chat's asking why we didn't mention Raptor Roost.
We do mention the other places, Jeremy. It's just people tend to mention the places they've been to because they know them best.
We could see it actually in one of our aerial images over in here somewhere.
I just posted the distances to most of the major places. If you can bring back that aerial, Steph.
Never find the image I want, when I'm trying to. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so Raptor Roost is over yonder. Yeah, it's not marked on the maps because it is a private property. But it's one of these. I think it's that one.
Keep going left. 2 trailers of the big tree. The big tree is Raptor's Roost. The big tree to the left of the 2 trailers. That's Raptor's Roost area in there.
Thanks, Cindy.
No problemo.
You like the comparison between Queenslanders and Texans? Cool.
Yazada does for sure.
I see Yazada all over the place throughout all the channels. It's awesome. I really like our community.
And it's right there on Google Earth. You can find it on Google Earth.
Yeah.
It's got the green star at the top, mate. Up a little. No. Yeah, that's Rocket Ranch.
Oh, that's what I was. Yeah, the outpost. That's what I thought they were looking for. And Raptor Roost.
Okay. The white building with the big tree next to it.
Well, I was pointing out this one. Sorry, the Rocket Ranch's outpost.
That's a fun place. I haven't been there. Alaska, you've been there. Can you? Yeah, Alaska, I think's been to the outpost.
But Dave Avery does a show there usually most launches. Okay, let's go over here. There's a couple of photos we can see of the ASU unit. Just give me a second to get that organized.
Can you go back to that picture, please? I was trying to see what they were doing on the driveway across from Gigabay.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah, they're putting
that quite a bit.
Yeah, they're putting a turnout lane, we think, for the vehicles, SPMTs. What are they called? Dave Avery called it something. A turn something.
Turnout.
Turnout.
Well, not what you do with horses.
They want to get it so people going down to Starbase out to the pad can drive around the vehicles lined up to turn into the Mega Bay area to make a delivery.
I think it's to allow room for the SPMTs to get out if they do them horizontal from in here, to be honest. Or even vertically to go to the launch site the other way. Launch site, Brownsville. Might be a bit tight just here to get the... I don't know about that. That looks like an SPMT could get around there, doesn't it? I mean, they're pretty versatile.
Oh, we know it can because it can come out of Remedios, and that's the buildings line up with Remedios, right?
True. Good point. Thank you. So maybe it is like you said for cars. I thought it was more for the vehicles, but yeah, you might be right there. But yeah, they're doing a big turn out yet. They've dug down and redone like they're doing it all properly. They may even put concrete on there properly. That's maybe the trench under that where they've recompacted over the trench properly to make sure they don't squash surfaces or whatever. They're definitely digging down.
Thank you for doing that.
Oh, no worries. Any questions, anytime. That's what this show's all about. Have plenty of time to look at whatever you like. India got Raptor Roost and Rocket Ranch mixed up as well.
I those two R's, man, they get me every time.
So this reminds me, I've got to do a little update on our produced video. I didn't include the photo of these pegs.
Monuments?
Yeah, I'll get into trouble. Yeah, I want them to do a close up in here to show the pegs.
Monuments.
Monuments of advancement to the space exploration campaign.
Survey monument.
The survey monuments out there on the far side of the fence.
Yes. Yeah.
They're actually called survey monuments, are they? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. What are they but 6-foot concrete posts sunk well and truly into the ground, Alec, and then they laser them in with total stations to get an exact fix off them?
Some of them, but the ones here, they're usually lazy and just driving a iron stake into the ground.
Sorry, Cumulus. Cumulus. I was going to address this quickly. A little peeve of mine is people's names. Alex is spelled with an X, not a C. Thanks. Other than that, carry on.
Right. Yeah, this depending where they are. I think if they're like quad, like the main survey ones, those are usually the concrete with placards on them.
Those would be, you're talking benchmarks. I think those are internal use ones, but they're surveyed in because the concrete one will withstand the blast of the next launch a little bit better than an iron stake.
Details.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you're not going to get blasts like that anymore. Remember, it's all different now with the blast. It's all changed.
They did improved, and see how it all holds up.
No, we're going to be horrified after Flight 12 when this just gets flattened. No, that won't happen, I'm sure. I'm sure that won't happen.
I'm looking at the windows on the lunchroom, Stephanie, and that I hope they put that patio furniture away before they fire that puppy up.
I don't think that building's long for this world.
No, that's all development area. This is all developed. All this area is getting flattened and developed. Everything in here is getting flattened and developed. All that concrete will come up.
Whoa. Don't talk crazy.
Because that's about where the new pump farm's going, ish, somewhere in here.
Yeah.
But maybe not before Flight 12. I think that'll be there on Flight 12. And I think they may even, I don't know. I got no idea even though expenditure won't be an issue with Flight 12, to be honest, with this new system.
We'll see. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, I hope they do as an experiment. I think that'd be wild if they leave the furniture there. That'd be crazy.
I think it might be further from the pad than B than it is from A. Granted, it's in the shadow of the tower, so...
Excitement guaranteed. Someone in chat did it with the Zach's name too. Whenever I see Zach spelled with a H, I always reply in chat, no, it's Zach with a K. Sorry, that's one of my OCDs.
That's why I knew you were saying Alex with an X, not a C.
Well, my friend's back is the other way. It's all bitter.
And speaking of construction, Mokita's wondering when they're going to begin the construction on Highway 4 to make it 4 lanes from the 1 lane that it currently is.
Everything's being sort of held up by the land bank that Starbase is firing up soon-ish. Granted, it seems like they may or may not be double dipping, but, bankers will do banker things.
Evil, pure evil.
Hey, I'm all for bringing modern fictions to every aspect of the world.
Oh, absolutely, my friend.
You may. I don't know if you can use that key. Might want to minimize your bar.
Sean Geisler gets some lovely shots. Those look beautiful.
As long as I don't show you can't see the you can't see the address bar. YouTube can't anyway. I think that's okay. Is that what you're talking about?
It briefly showed when you went into the Sean Geisler folder, and yes, the address bar is showing on YouTube.
Oh. I'm supposed to have that trim, so that's not a thing. What's going on there? Yeah. Anyway, I'll have to work on that. Maybe I'll do that in a different show.
OBS.
Yeah, I've got it in OBS. Let's try that again quickly.
Was there an update? Because OBS is notorious for munching settings and stuff.
Huh, that's weird.
Drew Narders commented that he thinks they'll start digging the Pad 1 OL trench in the next week or so.
They have a lot of piles to drill yet.
Approved.
And the sheep piles should be. They'll probably start the sheep piles soon.
That's weird because my output doesn't have the address bar up there. Anyway, I'll stop doing that.
Your people need to talk to Matt's people, and
yeah, I reckon. All right, I'll stop doing that. Now I've got to think where my screens are.
Squirrel.
Why is it still showing that on YouTube? Let me just shut that.
Because it's behind us a few seconds. It'll move as soon as it just moved.
Okay. Well, everyone stop looking.
The time behind live. It's a technical term.
Time behind live, yeah. TBL. Anyhow, at least I got his. Well, we won't do that. We'll do that another week. But yeah, there's lots of good photos of Sean's the ASU. We'll do that next week a bit more.
Drew Nars just suggested we could look forward to seeing the start of the Pad A OLM in the next week or so at Sanchez.
Maybe.
That's really making progress. Wow.
Well, now they've been dropping the Lego blocks, so it'll look even faster.
All right, now I'm back on track. Thanks for your patience there.
So those two blue units, Stephanie, what are they? The chillers?
They're motors, electric motors to drive the compressors.
Oh, thank you.
12,200 kilowatts each.
Just a little bit of juice. You need more than a couple of double A's.
Yeah.
12
car batteries
megawatts,
at
did you
least.
say? You say 12 megawatts?
Yeah, 24. Okay. And that's just for the main air compressors, not including the booster air compressors. So that will probably be in addition to these.
They're likely to be on HV, like 1100 volts then, in that case.
I think they're running at over 7,000.
7 kV, yeah.
Up to 11. I forget. I have to go on WEG's
Yeah,
site.
otherwise the current gets way too high and the cable size and everything.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest I heard was a 9 megawatt here in my local town. Oh, not my local town, a local city. Well, it's only 30,000 people, so it's like a town, I guess. At the paper mill where they take wood chips into pulp, where they pulp the wood chips into pulp.
Alec?
Yes?
Rhodey Films wants to know, how many squirrels does that equate to?
I will be running around the yard and I'll get back to you.
Funny you use the word squirrel because these induction motors are called squirrel cage motors. Because the rotor looks like it's two rings with bars in between. They look a bit like a squirrel cage.
Those
And
look like
no windings or brushes on a induction motor, just the outer windings and a squirrel cage in the middle, and you get streamer, mate. Thanks, Jake. Thanks. So I forgot all about that. There you go. Thanks. So I used to be so good at that. I used to get told all the time.
Hamster.
Thank you. Beep up, beep up, beep up. That's the first time I've done that in so long.
Ooh, and
Who's
thank you, Drew
showing that
Nar,
in
for
it?
the $5 Canadian donation. They have a question for Alex. Alex, are the blue motors and pump the main compressors or booster compressors? If they're the same, does that mean here will be no gaseous products?
These are the main compressors. There'll be booster compressors, I believe, next to them. But yeah, they'll be fed off of from the adsorption columns, not just from the atmosphere, but that'll go way into the weeds. Once they show up, we can dive as deep into the layout as one likes. And that probably didn't help answer their question, so sorry.
I'm sure it did. Drew's still trying to wrap his head around the whole ASU process in general. As are most of us, Drew. Don't worry.
Once more of the pieces are here, maybe I'll make some slides, a little slide deck up. It's you compress some air and you expand it and it cools it down, and then you're playing games with pressure essentially, and the whole column is a little bit more exciting because unlike actually no, the column's much sort of like a good still because it's continuous fractioning.
Like a fraction still rather than a kettle boil, a kettle still though, isn't it?
Exactly.
So Drew just is saying it'll depend on what equipment shows up later?
No. I mean, the booster compressors are... It may or may not need it, depending how they're setting it up and what process. Because there's various internal pressures you can run them at. But yeah, without some images, it's hard to explain. Because block diagrams, kind of like that one, really don't explain. I mean, that block diagram right there is pretty much all you need. That one is... Oh god, that's ridiculous.
Sorry, it's just the first thing I clicked on.
It's the one before that he liked better.
Yeah, because one of these is useless. I mean, unless you've done process work, none of that makes... Just the square block. That one is... So yeah, the blue boxes with the black in front of it is the air compressor stage. The one that's currently there, skid that's currently there, would be the air purifier. Or technically the pre-purifier. If you go to the port photo, the port photos. That is another compression stage. There's 4 magical turbo expanders that they're using and they're using those to spin 4 more compressor stages that are in line. So it's only 2 more stages. And you're doing that because you're essentially... When you expand a gas from a high pressure or low pressure, it generally tends to cool it. And since you're doing that anyway, you're also spinning a turbine with a turbo expander to get some of that, get some work out of the stream, rather than just straight venting. Yeah, those are turbo. Those that's on the right there, those silver, they're peeking out in the little boxes. No, on the American right. Those are the expanders. So high pressure gas comes in the top and low pressure comes out the center. And they're spinning compressors, so the air comes in that yellow pipe cover, and then it goes into that upper one, gets compressed, goes to, I think, the lower or heat exchangers, and it goes to the lower twin bank of turbo expanders, gets compressed some more, and it exits the airstream, exits the top. The expanded air goes right back into the crossover box, which is the one peeking out on the right side. Yeah. That's a crossover box where you're rerouting the gas flow to and from the main heat exchangers that is all the way on the left. Yeah, that one's a main heat exchanger.
Are they connections there? Are they the same connections we're seeing here? Are they real bolt in?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. And then we're going to see water heaters over yonder, but that's to keep these exchanges cool, isn't it?
Yeah, there'll also be some heaters as well. Because those two big silver tank-looking things are actually they're TSA columns, temperature swing absorption columns. So you'll run one for a while till the absorption beds get sort of saturated. Then you'll switch over the other one. Then you'll run a hot gas through that'll help deabsorb the water. The reason they call it air separation is a purification process here. So the reason it's called pre-purification is you're getting rid of stuff you don't want. So what little water vapor, CO2, an assortment of trace hydrocarbons that would tend to concentrate generally in the lock sump, which will give you a very bad day. Water vapor is not soluble in, for the most part, in liquid nitrogen, and neither CO2 or liquid oxygen, so that'll tend to clog up the heat exchangers, so that's very bad. And they're just using some fun chemistry that stuff sticks to what they're packing inside the columns, and then you'll heat it, it'll free it. They usually will use 150 to 200 C stream of dry nitrogen, and you'll be monitoring what's coming out, and as soon as you're getting basically pure nitrogen, then you'll switch it over and cool it down with another stream of waste nitrogen coming out of the ASU to cool it back down to operating temperatures, and then you'll flip it over, and you'll just keep ping-ponging between the two columns as long as it's working.
The dehydrocarboning is quite important, as you say, or you get too much junk and other stuff.
Yeah, won't go into the whole dew point, because referring to dew point for where things condensate gets a little confusing if people are only used to water vapor doing it. So, but yeah, it's also dew point management. It's the technical name for drying out the streams.
So water vapor and carbon dioxide, that produces ice and dry ice, is that right? That's what you're saying about clogging up the system?
Yep, and it's not very soluble in said liquids, so and there's a few other hydrocarbons that'll do it too. A lot of them are soluble. Some are more so in nitrogen than oxygen. And nowadays, way you're constantly drawing some of the liquid out of the oxygen out of the sump, so you'll be clearing it that way, but you don't want any of the contaminants because it's just robbing efficiencies. Vampire, as well as safety.
Given the motor vehicle traffic around there, you're going to get some small quantities of automotive gases being sucked in while this is working.
Oh, you'll get all sorts of good stuff. And it's essentially the volume of air they're going to be moving. It's just a concentrator as well. So even something that's down parts per high parts per million or parts per billion, it'll start building up fairly rapidly.
Certainly awesome. Will. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to thank. Oops, sorry.
No, and once more pieces are in them, it'll be easier to point out various stages and what's the heck's going on inside this box.
Because to me, it just looks like a box of pipes.
Oh, if you think that's funky, you should. They're not using this one, but you should see supersonic separators. For your for a brief hot second, where the two pipes narrow up. For a hot second, reminded me of one, but I seriously doubt that's what it is.
Could that be connected to that?
Yeah, those are connects there, and I think the insulated ones connect to the top, and the other ones are waste outs when you're flip-flopping. That's just access to the bottom. But those are packed with layers of beads. Think like the silica gel packets. Think sort of full of kind of those. So they're probably using zeolites rather than silica gel, and aluminum.
Dehydration packets suck all the humidity out of the air.
Yeah, and probably some 13x molecular sieves for getting the CO2 and some of the hydrocarbons. But yeah, then the dry hot nitrogen they use to regenerate and deabsorb whatever they absorbed. Yeah,
So along with
deabsorb is a word. Not as funny as some of the words you'll run into, but yeah, go on.
Drew's also asking, and also donated another $5 Canadian. They're also asking, so it's using the expansion of waste cryogases to spin the turbines for pressure boosting?
You get a high pressure stream, and then you expand it through the turbine. That sort of like a car turbo. It's very similar principle. And you'll recover a pretty sizable percentage of the energy that you used to compress the air in the first place, which kind of seems kind of counterintuitive. Then why do we have to compress it if we're just grabbing it back when we're spinning a turbine? And it's just using the magic of how energy in gases when you go from a high pressure to a low pressure. Since you can't
So it's just like the superchargers they put on the Hurricanes and the Spitfires in World War II, using exhaust gas to drive the turbine.
Yeah, exactly. But for here,
breaking it down, so really simply, the expansion's like what happens in your fridge, isn't it? The cooled your fridge.
Or if you ever have a can of spray paint or something, and you're spraying it really out continuously, how the can will start getting cold. It's exact same. It's a similar process. That's more of a phase change, but it's close enough. But yeah, it's the same things that pretty much most direct expansion heater, air conditions, or heat pumps use.
Of course, because that uses liquid refrigerant getting turned into gaseous, doesn't it, before it gets cooled?
And this is going the opposite. You're depressurizing a gas that's actually causing it to condense.
Cool, thanks. So so it's sort of similar, but there's a major difference as well.
Yeah, if you ever bleed an air compressor and you didn't have a drying stage when you compressed it, and you get that sort of moisture coming out, that's kind of a similar process as well.
Cool.
We also want to thank Tim Chance 2002 for his $20 donation. Super chat $20 donation, and he says Elon times 6 weeks possible, 8 weeks probable, 10 weeks likely, 12 weeks almost for sure.
Haters gonna hate. Oh wait, Webby's not here. Darn it. You can use a Tay lyric too.
Nicely done. Mokita has a question. We haven't seen the large chimney-looking tower yet, have we? And where do you think he will find his place at the ASU?
Right where the crane, the derricks, right there. And one really wants to see the tower.
And the other one's here, isn't it? The other smaller boxes here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the main heat exchanger.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Is it on your labeled map, Alex?
Yeah, it's the actual tall column. I just dropped it in Patreon Lounge. That is a public image.
And what is this of? Because I saw you drop it earlier. What is that?
It's a tall main column. The big white. It's a big box. The one that goes up like 160 feet.
Oh, the whole thing is.
Yeah.
Oh.
18. It's like 18 by 23 by 160 to 159, something around there.
And Drunar says, "Thank you, Alex. It makes more sense now."
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it sitting on the side. Yeah.
Remember the tall tower that was at Sanchez at all, Indy?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That's what he's referring to.
That was a mini one of these.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is getting darn close to booster size, but yeah.
Back to you, Steph.
Oh, cool. I was just going to try and find a picture of that scene shit. Not that it really matters. Just looking back when it was back in January or so in 2022. Was it still there?
Should have been.
Let me just have a quick look here. Ah, slow-mo. Yeah. 1 second. Jeez, wow, it's so different. Wow, everything's so different back then. Unreal. It's kind of hard to find your way around because everything was so different.
I just see a railing, prompted railing right now.
No, it's the wrong picture. It wasn't. Maybe it wasn't even here yet.
It's
back behind it. Yeah, it was there when they were building Mega Bay 2 or Mega Bay 1 and 2.
Hang on, I'll go back. I'll have another look. Hang on. 1 second.
It's just a little further back from the road. They used some of that was scrapyard right by the road, and some of it. There it is.
So it'll look something like nothing like that.
I mean, the scaled down version. I mean, you have the compressor hall on the left, with the down, yeah, right there. Then you have some absorption columns up on the upper left, and now those are heat exchangers. The 2 white tanks, with the black pipes coming off the top are. Some were buried in there. There'll be some water phase separators to dehydrate the stream before you put it into the columns.
So these tanks here, is that what you're saying? Are these the tanks, the vertical tanks?
Yeah, those are absorption columns. So yeah, those are the same as those two.
Is that the other box you talk about, how the heat exchange?
It is. It's pretty far away, but more than. I think the main heat exchanger is maybe slide box here.
Yeah, maybe this box. Oh, that was so long ago. I mean, it wasn't really.
So Kal-El is wondering, is running the ASU cheaper than chucking it in?
Oh, yes. Yeah, running this.
Well, I mean, you got to buy it.
It pays for itself pretty quick. With the volume they're using, it pays for itself pretty quick.
The person you're buying it from and trucking it in is running one of these too, so it's the same difference, but eliminating the trucks.
And yeah, markup, wear and tear.
Yep.
They're already fairly. They're energy hogs, so anything to minimize transport loss.
Would there be like a 5% loss or a 10% loss in the actual, by the time it gets put in the truck and then taken out of the truck and put into the tanks here?
Yeah, or more, 10%, but you're paying for a full load no matter how much comes out when it gets to your site.
The company wears the loss in transit.
The consumer purchaser. Okay. Yeah. The flip side is it probably in the trucks will arguably last longer than in your tanks because they're sloshing it around and keeping it mixed up.
You mentioned that sometimes when explaining cryo tanks here, how mixing helps.
Yeah, and those are all intercoolers. And then there's still to show up as the aftercooler.
You're getting quite a few thanks for your explanation there in chat. I appreciate you taking the time today and doing that. Thank you very much.
It'll make more sense with more pieces show up. Trust me.
That looks like almost some kind of
be boring for you, Alec.
Hmm?
The next month is not going to be a boring one for you, Alec.
Oh, it rarely is.
But that looks like some kind of, or a change of pipe size. I guess it'll do something to pressure or velocity as it goes through there.
I think that's where the air is getting dumped into the main heat exchanger.
But do they even put all the starp access already in those cages, in those boxes?
Yeah, that should sit on top of the crossover box. I think they just set that down today. It's the one that's the middle skid that's connected.
It's still at this one. It's still at the port, is it?
It's the one that goes next to this one, the one that's on the bottom of the frame. Yeah, that one. It should sit on top of it, right on top of that manifold. Probably on those.
Well, these look like they unbolt too. Them for that as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, look, it's on another frame itself underneath there. Temporary frame. Like a remove before flight kind of red, isn't it?
Yeah, if more and more pieces as they're showing up, you'll see they have all those temp bracing.
Very good. That's 2.5 hours. So I'm just wondering where we want to go from here.
Some to the moon, some to Mars. Some just want to sleep in space for the night.
A 24 kilowatt system running 24 hours a day consumes 576 kilowatt hours per day. That's quite a hefty power bill.
That's what Kal-El was saying.
Yeah, that's where I just got it from. Thanks. What's that? The last son of Krypton. That's funny. But still, like you said, Alex, between paying the power bill and not having to buy the locks and having to buy the and the transport and everything, it should still be considerably cheaper, and it just gets absorbed by the price per launch. It's probably still only I suppose it's a fair part of the launch cost, isn't it? That actually supplying the those cryogenics.
Are they actually
go on, Alaska?
Are they actually buying the plant, or is Air Liquid running it there and supplying them with the gas? They're just supplying the land for them to put it on. That makes
I would hope that they're letting them run it, and they're just. I mean, you have to pay your maintenance contract anyway.
Yeah, and that way they don't have to train somebody on something that they don't do very well, and they don't have to maintain it, which they are notoriously bad at.
I would hope they are.
So just basically pay per. Oh, sorry, Alex.
No, I was just agreeing with Alaska that hopefully.
So they could just, Alaska sort of basically paying, they could just literally pay per litre that comes under the road and not have to worry about any of the costs of running this.
Yep.
But I mean, SpaceX is sort of about vertical integration, isn't it? So maybe they're going to be more like, doing it themselves.
Except they'll probably be doing it by gallons instead of liters.
Alex Wakita's asking, do you also know approximately what percentage of the ASU can supply the launch pads? In other words, how many fewer truckloads will be needed?
I think they're kicking around like 200, which seemed a little low. But I mean, this plant, I mean, could probably almost, I'd have to rerun numbers, but it's at least a launch a week they could do, if not two, which seems a bit oversized or points more to SpaceX's trajectory with the site moving forward.
I thought there was a number floating around to save 80% of the trucks, which mean it should mean no LOX or liquid nitrogen, but only liquid methane being delivered, and well, even that'll be later on turned into pipelines as well, and a liquefaction plant.
I got a question for you.
Go for
it. The first liquefaction plant that we had, I remember, geez, it's been years, but they were burning off something off the top of it for about a day. Is that a methane they were burning off, or?
I don't know what you'd be combusting from air.
That's what I was. They had a big flame torch on the top of it that was going for one day, and I thought maybe they were hooked into the well or something else, but I don't know. I just had that question. It's going back a couple of years.
I have no clue. Especially not at startup. Shouldn't be.
They had the thing running there for a while, but it was like one day you saw a shot from the one angle, and you could see a torch on the top of it with like a 3-foot flame.
Don, was that the air separation unit, or was that
the old one?
Well, they were cleaning out that well that's right by there. Is what I'm wondering if that had something to do with that instead of the air separation unit itself. But I don't remember the flame.
It might be, because I think they were trying to see if they could tap out of there if there was enough material or something. But I just remember there was a big torch burning.
Yeah, the well is just south of this. Keep going down. I don't know if you can show the well on it or not.
100 yards away, maybe.
I mean, they might have done an experiment saying about liquefying natural gas at some point.
I just remember seeing the flame and going, "Oh man, we're really getting somewhere now."
Can Crusher.
That's kind of
A couple more questions on the
These old
ASU.
stands.
That was
Zach was wondering.
Original.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
That's what we see at NASA's now, isn't it? The original Can Crusher, that one?
Yes, that was the original Can Crusher, yes.
And that's the original booster cryo stand that had a few, wasn't booster 3 or 1 on that as well for a little while? Boy, it's been a minute. Alex, you're saying there's no real flammable gases to burn off in an ASU. It would have to have been something to do with the natural gas well, not an ASU unit, because I don't think I've ever seen any ASU units produce a flammable gas myself either. Is that right?
I mean, the really old ones, you can contaminate the locks on the bottom if your pre-purification steps aren't very thorough. That is a known hazard that just random trace hydrocarbons after a period of time will just build up in your LOX pool, and you have to safely drain it and vent it. So, but a properly functioning one, you shouldn't have that problem, at least with the current. Some of the older ones had a much different pre-purification step where they would just send the stream in, and they'd let stuff freeze in the main heat exchanger, and then they would just be flip-flopping through different sections of the heat exchanger, and then letting the stuff evaporate that condensed off, a la sort of like you use a cold trap when you're doing any sort of vacuum distillation with your solvents. But now we're really going into the weeds if we're going to get into solvent stills.
So that's along the questions that Zappa was asking. They're asking, does the ASU produce byproducts that need to be discarded or removed from the site?
Anything like in the pre-purification, there's gas in the air that got concentrated, and then you're purging it out with another stream of gas. So I think it's one of the things that most jurisdictions just sort of looks the other way, sort of like rain on a parking lot. But I mean, technically, you probably could clean up and collect some of the trace impurities that you collected. Some of them aren't great, but most of them are fairly benign.
And then Brian's asking, so will they have... Sorry, there's one more, Steph. Brian's asking, so they'll only have to truck in methane then?
Yes. And that sunsets because they're planning on putting a natural gas purification and then a methane liquefying train here.
And also any helium that they need, correct?
I don't think they're moving a sufficient volume of air to get any helium out of it. They'll still truck that in. The one flip side is, though, hopefully they have an argon tower in here, because I believe they're starting to use argon in their hull thrusters. So then they'd get their Starlink fuel for free as well.
Yeah, the couple of diagrams I saw of ASUs, there seems to be it's obviously quite possible that they can get argon out as well. We understand Alex's mic's coming through a little bit robot-y, but that's fine. It's all good.
Oh, Jesus.
It's all good.
Had to move because I'm being attacked by my cat.
Your cat.
My question is, how unbelievably loud is this ASU going to be when it's running? especially like if you were trying to be on the beach hanging out.
There's environmental limits of how loud you can have something, because that would have been in the approval process.
I just feel like something like that would be like really loud.
You're saying, but the tank farm can make a fair bit of noise too, aren't you, Alex?
Yeah. I mean, there's industrial sound, valves, hissing, rumbles, you know.
It won't make as much noise as a launch.
I was just going to say that.
I can't deny that.
Yeah, when they depress a ship down there, I mean, you can hear it for a mile or two around it. And you just don't want to be close to it. I don't think the ASU can be anywhere near as loud as that would be.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was like not too bad when you're near it, you know, like 100 decibels, or, you know, is it 150, or, you know.
No, you can walk up to them without hearing protection.
Oh, okay, so under 100 then.
Yeah, but you're in a quiet environment-ish, because you have the rumble of the surf, but so it'll sound much louder than if you plopped it down in the middle of a city.
Yeah, for sure.
Or next to the high side of a major freeway, highway.
Right.
He's noticed on the live stream too, where he's asking questions sometimes. I went wandering off over into the beach. That was funny.
And if you want to enjoy the beach, you can always go up or down the beach a mile or so and get away from that.
True.
You know what's interesting about this picture is that ASU is closer to 1,000 feet from the water line than the property line for the pad 1, right?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go on, Alaska. No, you were answering it.
Oh, I just said they got special permission to be closer with that, and they had to move some of the sand over to this side. They were hand spreading those dunes right in there to balance and restore new dunes for the space they took on the other side.
I thought the line was over here anyway.
Yeah, I thought it went into the dune, or right to the dune.
That's the beach access line. But the actual build line, if you look at all the prints for the new expansion of the launch site, it's right in there. And the ASU unit goes past that. They got special permission for that.
Yeah, if we zoomed into that location you were just at last week or the week before, you could see the markers in there, the 1,000-foot marker.
To the
It's
left.
kind of like on the back side off the circle.
Yeah, it should be right in there, right close to where they're.
I think it's in a different shot. I can see the ones over this side, but I'm struggling finding the ones back in here.
Yeah, it's not the bollards with the wire. It's just a couple of survey stakes.
Yeah, the bollards are further up into the dunes, further closer to the beach, but there's some stakes, right?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, but there's some stakes back down where your hand was that we saw in a picture of the last show.
If you go to the yellow crane, go left, go to the yellow crane and look right at the edge of the grass and the dirt and the sand. Oh, I'm sorry, not the crane. The right. Go right up over there. I think you'll see a red stake or a stake with a flag on it right up in there somewhere. Right at the grass, right there.
That might be it, yeah. It's not showing up very good.
Yeah, one of those two stakes right there.
Cool. Let's see. That one won't show it. No, it'll show these ones though. Anyway, we know they're in there. It's all good. Thank you. Well, I'm in a hurry. Let's have another little look around. Yeah, this way I might show it. Petra's behind the tower.
Yep.
They're in line with the power building and the wall. I think there's one right there actually.
There's one. Go to the right a little bit. Go to the right. Go to the right. Right there.
Well, it's below that, but yeah. Yeah, that one.
There it is.
Yep, there it is.
So looking for a needle in a damn haystack. Alrighty, how's chat going? Any other questions? What? There's a couple of questions there, Indy.
Yep, got one for you. Olaf is wondering, why hasn't SpaceX built a drone ship that will catch with catch arms to practice catching ships off of Australia? Any thoughts on that?
Well,
Catching
it's
ship
not a
would
permanent.
be challenging.
Yeah.
No, it'd be logistically very challenging to have a 300-foot tower on a just a barge or drone ship.
Imagine it moving around. Shoo, shoo.
Yeah, I mean they have the oil platforms, but I mean you're up getting into the billions at that point very quickly.
There's no real. My point is, there's no real need because that's not part of the whole thing. They're going to be catching, like landing just up the coast of Australia was only part of this initial, ballistic testing. It's not really part of the overall program at all. It was only for these sort of first few hops. For the next few flights, we're going to see Starship go orbital and it'll come back to a tower where that's supposed to.
Oh, you want the Australian launch complex?
Oh yeah, I do. We've just got that was in the news actually in Twitterverse. We've just got some more funding for what do they call them? Gilmore Space just got some more funding. And funny,
Cool.
a lot of it's come from superannuation investment, like most of it.
Every time you say Gilmore Space, Adam Sandler pops into my head for reasons.
Pizza pie.
I thought it doesn't matter. I thought I tagged it. That's a nice photo.
Is that Ellie?
Yeah, looks like it, yeah. Something about a lady on a horse.
No saddle.
Ow.
Anyhow. Oh, here, it won't be far from here. I hope the scrolling isn't. Let me take this off the screen for a second while I scroll. Yeah, I can't seem to find it. Doesn't matter. But yeah, the Australian space industry is starting to kick off a bit more.
I was just about to do the Jeopardy theme.
And I can't find it. I keep scrolling. Anyhow. All right. So I'm just wondering what to do with it's time to wrap up or not there, Matt.
I mean, we pretty much hit everything, right? Unless you wanted to hit Florida, but you know.
Oh, that's right. Florida. We'll have a quick look at Florida. Why not? That's right. Thank you. I forgot about Florida. Yeah, we're getting a pretty good views on that video, that's for sure. Florida, so we probably should just worry about Starbase. Is it Starbase? Starship Florida. Was there any big questions about Starbase? I'm pretty sure Zach and Alex did a pretty good job running over it on the live stream. I caught most of it.
Ryan did a great job too.
Sorry, and Ryan, yeah.
And Webby jumped in a little bit to help us out because
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it was invaluable.
I see he's decided it was okay to show 37. I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Marcus's video, it's all out there, just as close as we got pictures. He has pictures too, so if he could do it, we could do it.
Mine are slightly closer.
Yeah.
Well, a lot closer, but that's fine.
That's right, event dudes, exactly.
No, I mean, actually, the plane got physically closer.
Yeah, it did well. We'll definitely talk to you in the future about doing another one, maybe in another month's time, whatever. But sure, that was, yeah, really well worth the effort, I tell you. We may be able to help you out getting it done. So he's never really decided where the tower's going. I thought it was sort of decided this is where one of the towers going.
There,
you're saying
there is a tower going there.
But is it the launch tower or is it a landing tower? But it'll probably be a launch tower.
I just find it curious. The deeper.
Would there be a priority to get a catch tower up there? Because they've got the launch, 2 launch towers. They'll have 2 launch towers. Would there be a priority to get a catch tower?
I mean, they're going to be vehicle limited until Roberts Road is up to speed. And this probably has, an 18-month timeline. Because, I mean, this tower is ready to be stacked, so there's that.
Check out the ad in chat. Event Dudes is freaking legend for getting the images that high quality. Yes, absolutely. Hashtag when launch. Yeah, maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks? Yeah, something like that. 4 weeks.
Yeah, I will
6
say,
weeks.
I will guarantee that when there's a ship on the thing, I will definitely be out there. I don't know if I'll be out there before then. I am hoping so, though.
Look forward to it.
For a
that is
tour
a
around
big
that when
pile
you're
of dirt.
flying there, event dudes, is it what do they charge? $150 an hour, or how do they do that?
Yes, it's 150 an hour. That's all. As far as I know, the helicopters are about the same as here, which are about 550 to 700 for to go to the space adventure tour, whatever they call it, the shuttle landing tour thing, which they can't do right now because there's a NOTAM in the way of that unless they get some special clearances. There isn't a airplane at the local ticks, and I haven't checked Melbourne. That'd probably be the next best. So it's probably 1.5 more than what Mauricio does.
So you're saying almost like $500 or more? Wow.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's funny because we go camping a lot, and there's a little airport there. And I told the guys, "Hey, let's go on an airplane." We went over there, we put our money together. It was about $150, but we only went up for about an hour, I guess, and did all the Finger Lakes and back over the campsite and landed. But we had taken off a grass runway and all that too.
Yeah, I had it lined up for ticks, and they crashed the airplane that they basically only had. So, yeah, I had to do other things.
Ouch.
That's not a good sign. I know the last flight I went in for airplane didn't cost me a cent, but that was just my brother coming over and picking me up in his airplane.
Yeah, I left this up to Mauricio and Zach 10 minutes before the show, if they wanted to show this or not. I said don't show ULA for obvious reasons, but...
Oh, we showed ULA in the show and tell, didn't we? But that was 40, is it?
Well, it's a
no,
that's a show and tell, it's fine.
Yeah.
Now, is that groundwater?
41, actually, isn't it? Launch site 41. This groundwater in here?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, it's not
There's
all
a
that
cone
deep,
there.
is it?
It's going to be so close to the ocean, probably is.
What do you say? There's a column here.
Cone. There's a red cone. I'm assuming that's groundwater because also in the recent satellite, looks like they're having problems dewatering the new pond they're building too.
You know, to the left there, you got the hoses that are pumping off of something.
Yeah, because isn't one of the new
the red pipes
ponds up here?
Yep.
Yeah, they're pumping into that tank. You mean the one over here on the left, don't you? This one over here.
Yeah, that's where it's coming from, I think.
Yeah, is that the new pond they're redoing, or? Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
it's the new pond. He has the image. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, sorry. She has the image.
It's all good. I appreciate the correction, but yeah, it's all good. Oh, there's the pumps.
Oh yeah, they have a whole
dewatering system around the perimeter.
Oh.
Well, that explains the soil mixing.
So I just bring that image up. It mustn't be that far back. Oh, that's right. There's that image of the clamp doors. Just quickly, I was going to show you. I see you saw that.
Yeah.
Very, very well done.
Amazing. I like the way the door sort of does this sort of hesitation sort of maneuver as it comes in and out.
That's why I asked about the binding.
Yeah. The only thing I got right about the whole mechanism is that it takes a second for the door to come back to let the clamp arm go through.
It's a great animation.
Do they no longer put in gas to the outer ring of engines through those areas, or no?
None. It all goes through the BQDs.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that is absolutely brilliant. I gave up when I started writing Python to simulate to do permutations to get the linkage links right. So
Oh, there is a landing pad planned for 39A.
I thought that's a Falcon pad, but it might turn into a.
I'd say it's a Falcon pad, yeah.
For now.
Oh, that was you doing those lap labels. Oh, cool. Thanks, event dudes. Well, there's an image that didn't make it into the final draft. It would have been because the wing and everything's in the way, but it does show a nice little outline of everything.
Oh, I like the new labels he did. So these are just a paint drawing compared to what was going on with the new labels.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
And while we're on the Starbase topic, CRZ is asking, what did they build on top of Booster QD's Pad 2 at Starbase?
On top of?
I think he's talking about the reflectors is my best guess. I don't know what else would be on top of.
Yes. Mystery sensors.
Oh, wait, hang on. Give it a shot here. Hang on. Do you mean these little reflectors up? Oh, where are they? Up. Oh, here. These mystery things.
And the transmitter potential receiver / transmitters, 3 on the top. Right at in front of the scaffold railing. I think you can see it. Yeah, I think those are the.
That's the wrong angle again. I'll try and get a better. Oh, here. There's some of these angles are better. No. Spoilt for choice.
That one's the best one so far.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah, the 3.
There's some sort of alignment, yeah. So it's just kind of strange. Normally they just put one of those totalizers up, don't they? And they can usually get a good enough. They can usually get a good enough with that. Thank you.
Still an exact mystery what those are.
3 hours, yeah, I think that'll do us. So I didn't see any questions from, I said, over here. I mean, we could just spend 10 minutes just having a quick look around, I guess. I
You
was
can
pretty
only
happy
take
to
10
see
minutes looking at those. You're far better than I am.
I was pretty happy to see a lot of the photos from Falcon 9 too. There's quite a few things I hadn't sort of seen around the Falcon 9 pattern. It's interesting to correlate them sort of to Starship in a little way as well. They're sort of very different, but kind of similar. I heard you talking about this. I think we worked out, I'll get a better image. Yeah, there's 2 of these seem to get moved back around here for Falcon Heavy.
Right.
Still not the right image. So that one and that one get moved over there, which might be to do with QDs. Looks like the QDs are sort of built into these clamp system, doesn't it? Or vice versa.
Yeah, I've never paid attention how Falcon is set up.
And there was another question. There was another question about Falcon Heavy. I think someone answered in chat. They bring single sticks in, assemble it, and then the big door on the other end, they can take the Falcon Heavy out the other end of it. Falcon Heavy can fit out the other door. There was
They
a
roll
down.
They roll that whole thing inside of there and then lower it onto it, or
Yeah, they assemble it on the TE.
Must be a photo I'm missing. Yeah, they roll the transporter reactor into here. Bring the sticks in through here and put it all together in there. It's where they would join stage 1 and 2 as well, with a question mark.
Yes. You do a horizontal integration.
And payload integration as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they do have a
wink contract with Space Force to do vertical integration, but an extended fairing, but haven't seen that yet. So
Put the pictures in Patreon Lounge. One is the back door that I gave to Zach, but he never got time to do it, or front door, I guess. And then the other one is the Falcon Heavy on that particular jig, if you will.
On Wednesday, June 18th, 2025, at SpaceX's test facility near Starbase in southern Texas, a Starship loaded with propellant in preparation for a 6-engine static fire experienced a rapid, unexpected disassembly, with parts spread out over a large area. The damage across the test facility's infrastructure was extensive. Since then, crew have been collecting ship parts for inspection and analysis. Like and subscribe to see the full video.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Yeah, the launch side door is big enough for the whole Falcon Heavy. Oh, nice.
Is that one of those tractors they use to push and pull jets at airports?
over on the right.
Where? Oh,
yeah.
In this photo, it does look like it, doesn't it? It looks a lot like one, actually. So it doesn't tow it, it kind of pushes the front bogie along and sits up underneath the actual rocket. That's different. I guess that allows, hang on. Oh, sorry, it's going backwards, isn't it? It actually pushes the whole thing. So it's pulling from there, it's going to the left, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then, look, actually you can see that's a good shot. It shows the actual, that other unit being moved, those other two units being moved. Whichever one's the other side of that.
Big hose in the front of it. In the front of the record, there's a big hose to pressurize it, I guess. Down low. Those where the guys are standing.
That's the QD and propellant filling for the second stage.
Okay, perfect.
Like Starship, they have a separate QD for the upper stage. What a machine! That's pretty cool. It's pretty dang cool. You can't actually see the QDs in here unless they're the ones down the bottom. I can't quite see. This gives me Star Wars sort of vibes. That's just, especially just there. That sort of looks very Star Warsy.
Yeah, it's like the opening of the Death Star where the Millennium Falcon flew into.
Yes.
Very cool.
Like, is that damage or is it a coating?
That's what I was trying to figure out. It looks like a coating, but I imagine it's been subject to a lot of heat too.
Yeah.
There could be deposits. Oh, look, there's some fuel lines there. That might be a QD there.
Gives it a cast iron look.
That'd be the QDs, wouldn't it? We got a funny comment on my last live stream as to questioning our fields of expertise, and I just answered back, well, we draw on a lot of people in our chat, in our Discord and YouTube channel members. There's a vast amount of life experience. It's not just me. I'm only an electrician. There's a lot of things I speak about I only get from all you people in Discord and in YouTube as well. That's where all the a lot of the info comes from. People like Event Dudes and like Alex and all sorts of people, and Phil Kid there. There's so many experts in so many fields that it's not me. I don't know much at all. It's about the community. It takes a team to make all this happen. Teamwork makes the dream work. It's an interesting comment. A little bit of constructive criticism I took it as. We get like one bad comment every 6 months or so. So I don't really worry about it.
Amps and experts are welcome. Join in Discord and chat us all up.
Exactly. Okay, back to... No, not that one. Where am I supposed to be? Oh yeah, over here. Yeah, very interesting seeing all this. But yeah, I don't think there's any other questions. I mean, mostly around Starbase Extended. We did all those extended sites and a few deep dives. So we might wrap it up there. So I want to thank, Alex is my main right-hand man. So I really appreciate Alex being around. I wouldn't be able to do half what I do without Alex in particular. I always shout out Alex in particular because you show a great deal of knowledge and especially, I always say, a great deal of patience with us all. So I really appreciate your time, Alex.
You're welcome. Glad to be here. And yeah, maybe I'll go to my studio next time on the stream so people stop complaining about my audio and internet.
Art is but a thing. I thank Indy Star heaps for being in chat. It's always really nice to have someone else in chat, so I don't have to keep looking at that. So I always appreciate Indy being in chat. And I know, Indy, you get a lot of positive feedback with people in chat. You're a bit of a star there, so I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And Matt, I'll remember to thank Matt this time. I might even let Matt have a go at the sign off since I'm not so good at it. So thank you all. I've been Stephanie B, and we'll see you again later in the week for a show and tell, hopefully Saturday afternoon. And then we'll see what happens about live streams. And of course, next week we'll have another episode of this Expanded. So thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming out and all your support. We greatly appreciate it. We love when you hit that like button at the bottom and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate all those things. And we look forward to seeing you guys again this weekend, hopefully. We have a flyover scheduled for Saturday, so as long as the weather cooperates, then we are going to see you guys again in just a few days. So with that, we're going to say goodbye for the day. So love, peace, and chopstick rail grease. Thank you.